So, travelers are finally getting their first opportunities to visit Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. What surprised me the most about the new land? Well, today, we're gonna find out. Let's hop into it. Hello and welcome to the Parkhop. My name is Jacob. I recently had the opportunity to visit Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios for the very first time. And like most of the people who have made the trek to Batuu, I was blown away. The attention to detail was remarkable, the immersive nature of the land was impressive, and the experience was one that I keep finding myself wanting to revisit as soon as possible. And even with all of the information and all of the hype and the years of preparation for Galaxy's Edge, there were still some things that truly surprised me about the land. And they might surprise you too. Now, I'm not talking about the fact that a ride was good or that there was something cool to buy, but little things that exceeded my expectations, even though those expectations were already pretty high. Now, generally speaking, I like to go into a new theme park experience or attraction with as little knowledge about what to expect as possible, and I'm sure that some of you are the same way. So if that's you, you might just want to skip this video and move on to the next one because there will be plenty of discussion and plenty of video about Galaxy's Edge. But you clicked on this video, so that's probably not you. So let's hop into the top 3 things that surprised me about Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Number 1, it's enormous. Now, we've known for a long time that Galaxy's Edge was going to be a 14-acre land, pretty much from the time it was announced. And as far as recent expansions are concerned, 14 acres isn't really anything exceptional. Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios occupies about 11 acres, Pandora at Animal Kingdom is 12, and both of Universal's Harry Potter-themed lands, Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, are about 20 acres. Galaxy's Edge, however, feels bigger than all of them, and not by a little bit. When you walk into the land from the Grand Avenue entrance and walk into the Resistance area, you're greeted by a wide open space, certainly meant to collect the numerous people both entering and exiting the land, as well as entering and exiting the Rise of the Resistance attraction. Because this area is so open, your first impression of the land, despite the number of people, will be that the pathways are really wide. This is something that you don't get at Pandora or either of the Harry Potter-themed lands because those are intended to feel a little bit more intimate. Galaxy's Edge feels expansive. The rockwork in the distance feels miles away, and it just adds to the feeling of how huge Galaxy's Edge is. Now, that's not to say that there aren't intimate places in Galaxy's Edge. You definitely feel the crowded nature of Batuu's busy shops and eateries, but you exit into more spacious areas. As you exit Ronto Roasters, for example, and head towards the Millennium Falcon, you're greeted by a set of stairs leading to another wide-open gathering area. The fact that you walk down several steps to this next area of the land gives it a feeling of having multiple levels, just adding to the impression of size. The land has so many nooks and crannies, so many corners to turn past, that you can actually find yourself feeling sort of lost. You can lose your sense of direction a bit because those more close-up and intimate sections of Galaxy's Edge feel separate from the rest of Black Spire Outpost. Especially as you wander back into the area held by the First Order. You rarely find yourself looking off into the distance of the land and identifying something that's not relevant to the area that you're in. Which leads me to the second thing that surprised me. Number 2, the sightlines are perfect. Now, we all know that Disney is obsessed with sightlines. Just Google Disney World height balloon, and you'll see the kind of testing they do for sightlines all over property. They've not failed in their goals at Galaxy's Edge. There's no point at which you will find yourself in the Resistance area of the land or near the First Order's stronghold that you'll be looking at the other part of the land. This keeps you in the part of the story that you're in, because you're not going to be visually distracted by anything incongruous to what you're currently experiencing. What was more surprising, however, was that none of the rest of Hollywood Studios could be seen from inside of Galaxy's Edge, or at least, if you could, I didn't see it, and that's pretty impressive. In fact, the only vantage point from which I noticed any faulty sightline was a window in the queue for Smuggler's Run, from where you could see the very top of the Walt Disney World Dolphin Resort. Some strategic planting might be able to fix this, or it might just be a matter of letting things grow. This one exception notwithstanding, however, Galaxy's Edge does a great job of keeping you in the story by not distracting you by something else. And that's kind of the best part. Number 3, the cast members are into it. Now, generally speaking, Disney's cast members do a pretty good job of joining in on the fun no matter where you are in the parks. In fact, that's kind of their job. I was surprised, however, at how excited many of the cast members are to be inhabiting Black Spire Outpost. Many of them seem seriously into their roles and love being a part of the story. First, they're surprisingly consistent in the verbiage of Batuu. For instance, this holocron is 49.99 credits plus Oga's tax. They're also super helpful and knowledgeable when you ask for details about a specific element of the land, like this pod racing engine that's now used for barbecuing Ronto and Nuna turkey, or where this shock roast comes from at Docking Bay 7. The inhabitants of Batuu are also interested in your travels as well. One woman stopped me in my bright red Pizza Planet shirt to inquire if I was truly from the Pizza Planet, and if it was as wonderful of a place as the stories say. I told her it was, but evil forces wiped it from existence. At any rate, the cast members who were chosen to be a part of Galaxy's Edge are definitely enjoying the opportunity to be a part of Star Wars canon, and they're well prepared to help guests wander through this new land and enjoy things that they're just now experiencing for the first time. It's always been a part of a Disney cast member's job to be part of the story. The folks in Galaxy's Edge are off to a pretty good start. When Galaxy's Edge was first announced, I was excited about the prospect of what it could be. And now that it's a reality, I'm happy to know that Disney has done a great job making Batuu come to life. I wasn't sure about the idea when they decided to create a Star Wars-themed land around an unknown or barely mentioned location, but I am so glad that they did. It doesn't feel like you're in a specific moment in a timeline or in someone else's story. It feels like you're experiencing something new with a little bit of familiar stuff thrown in. I look forward to the trees aging and getting bigger and making the world feel older. I'm rooting for the addition of wandering droids and additional characters. I'm excited not by just what Galaxy's Edge is now, but what it can be in the future. And I'm sure that there are going to be more surprises down the road. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification icon. And if you've already experienced Galaxy's Edge, or if you're looking forward to visiting Batuu for the very first time, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let us know what you're most excited about. Until the next time, I'm Jacob, reminding you to gather your belongings, watch your head and step, and take all small children by the hand.